Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Very interesting topic for this episode. I'm sure marami ang curious sa tanong na ito. Ang IRCC ba nagche-check ng social media? Okay, nako. Baka hindi nyo alam, yan ang isa sa mga dahilan bakit nagkakaproblema kayo sa inyong mga application. Ano? Anyway, yan ang ating sasagutin. We have the perfect person to talk to about this. Ang nagbabalik po sa in a nutshell, si Miss Geraldine Vallarail. Isa po siyang RCIC. Diyan po, based in Edmonton. Hello, Miss G!
Hi, Miss Ina. Ako na naman. And thank
No,
you
it's
for
good.
inviting me once again.
Yeah. Ang sabi ko nga, ma'am, Miss G pala, you are the best person to talk to about this. Dahil, bago pa po maging RCIC si Miss G, FYI sa inyo guys, she was a long-time recruiter. 'Di ba? And she will tell us that, o sasabihin ko na nga ang answer, yes, chine-check ang inyong social media, okay? At ipapaliwanag niya what you should do, paano ba ina-assess o tinitignan na inyong social media accounts kapag kayo ay nag-a-apply to come to Canada to begin with, no?
So with regards to your question, so does IRCC check your social media accounts ba? So my big answer is yes. Totoo yun. So IRCC does monitor social media accounts as part of their verification process. So nabanggit mo nga, di ba, dati, bago ako maging full-time immigration consultant, even in my recruitment practice, yeah, I do check ang social media pages or ng mga aplikante. So by checking that, that helps the immigration officer na i-verify yung information provided dun sa application. So example nun is yung employment history or yung relationship status to name a few. So kung yung younger generation gumagamit sila ng LinkedIn, Facebook or Instagram or YouTube of course, and many others to check kahit yung kapitbahay nila no, o yung mga kaklase nila. So the government can do that too, or possible even more. So with the current, tools na ginagamit ng IRCC, hindi lang social media, di ba? Meron na rin tayo ngayon tinatawag na AI. So they can easily verify the information you have submitted for your application.
Oh, umpisahan natin dun sa employment, ma'am. So when you say that IRCC monitors your employment na nakasaad, let's say, lalo na sa LinkedIn, kasi yan ang ginagamit for job seekers. So what you're saying is dapat pareho ang yung employment history tsaka kung ano man po yung binabagit, nilalagay na sa application nila.
Oh, yes, tama. So not many Filipinos no na-encounter ko when I ask them, especially in their job hunting. So I always tell them, okay, mag-create kayo ng LinkedIn profile. So not many of the Filipinos know ano ba yung LinkedIn profile. So kung my Facebook, no, which is we are using for like personal or social networking. So ang LinkedIn naman is a professional networking site. No, it's a platform designed to help people connect with your, let us say, colleagues or yung potential employers kung naghahanap man kayo ng work, or recruiters or people with the same interest. So pareho rin siya ng Facebook. Yun nga lang ang pagkakaiba is you show more of your personal or your social information sa Facebook. And sa LinkedIn, you are showing more of your professional side. No? Ano ba yung work experience mo? Ano ba yung education background mo? And it is widely used by employers, recruiters, and organizations like the IRCC nga.
Oh, so ibig mo sabihin, ma'am, if walang LinkedIn, would that be a red flag for the immigration officer? Sabihin, ay walang LinkedIn or mahina din ng social media presence, hindi sila maka-verify online ng katauhan mo.
Oo. So hindi naman, no, it's not a mandatory naman in the professional world that you create a LinkedIn profile. No, that will not be a red flag, we could say. So kasi marami naman talaga na hindi gumagamit ng LinkedIn. But remember, whatever you put out there, no, that is transformed to a public information. So kung ano lang yung inilagay mo or shinare mo outside publicly, that's the only one or tools na gagamitin ng IRCC, for example, to find out if there's something to check about you. Oo.
Okay. So, ibig niyo sabihin, ma'am, how about them verifying your employment status with your former employers? Nalalaman din po ba nila yan, na-verify nila sa social media? Because many think na hindi na pag ilagay kong employer ko taga Pilipinas, hindi na nila tatawagan yan. Hindi nila ma-verify yan. Can they use social media to somewhat verify your previous employment?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I always say if there's a will, there's a way. Now, again, I'm speaking from being an immigration consultant and being a recruiter here in Canada. I also work not only in Canada, but majority in the Middle East. So we're talking about Bahrain, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, or Dubai. But I have also spent a lot of years recruiting for Canadian companies. Yeah. So before i-offer sa'yo, of course, ang job, or if before the employer or the recruiter extend a job offer, so they do reference checks. No, if for example, okay, let us focus on the immigration part. For example, you mentioned that you are in your PR application. You mentioned that you worked as a transport manager. No, that is the position that you claimed, or the knock that you claimed at the time of your application. And then you can see, and it's very visible in your LinkedIn profile. Again, LinkedIn profile is the professional networking site, wherein you can see the history. Kung saan ka nag-work, anong name ng company, for how long you worked for them, and then saan ang location ng company. Now, then you can easily, if I am the IRCC officer, which it happens all the time, no? Of course, pag hindi nag-match, okay, your claim that you are a transport manager for ABC company, and then now I can see sa LinkedIn profile mo na you're just a transport supervisor, for example.
Okay.
So magkaiba ang knock nun, no? And even yung years of experience or dates inclusive na nag-work ka sa kanila is hindi nagmamatch, so that can raise a red flag. Then the visa officer definitely can dig deeper dun sa application mo, and can potentially risk na maging successful yung application.
Oo. Parang misrepresentation na ba agad yun? Is that a big is that a big deal, let's say, or is it something that you can later on correct?
I would say not. Some or many immigration officers are sending yung tinatawag na procedural fairness letter.
Yeah, no.
Diba? That will give you, again, I'm looking at the PFL or the procedural fairness letter as an advantage. Take it to your advantage as an applicant. No? Because binibigyan kayo ng officer ng chance na ipaliwanag. Okay, if the officer saw na kinlay mo transport manager, but you're just a supervisor, then that will be your chance to explain, no, sa officer why you claim that job title. So possible na ang title mo talaga is transport manager because with the like considering the job description, it was really meant for a transport manager. No, it's a matter of like how to be diplomatic in explaining your situation. I'm not saying that, you know, straight away na magiging refusal na yon. No, you have to explain clearly. But of course, it's a big red flag sa officer, and they will dig deeper sa application. So you should be mindful kung ano yung dinedeclare against what we can see or what people can see online.
Yeah. And then you mentioned po kanina, no, ma'am, yung family ties. Yan. What you also share on your social media accounts about your ano ba kung married, may common law partner, may anak kayo, dapat pagkaingatan nyo rin at dapat it matches your application. Kung ang employment history ay sa LinkedIn, how do they check po yung family ties through social media? Verify.
So basically, you cannot find that through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But you can find that through, like, let us say, Instagram or Facebook. So family composition can be checked online through Instagram. Like if it's me in my practice, now I can easily check that through Facebook or Instagram. So for example, you claim that you have only brothers or sister, kapatid lang, no? And you're being sponsored by a new Canadian spouse. Pero nakikita din sa online photos mo, you are taking care of or you're hugging your children back sa Pilipinas. That can also raise concerns or interest to dig deeper or curiosity dun sa officer na malaman ano pa, why you're saying na wala kang anak, but why I'm seeing online is very visible that you're claiming that you have mga anak.
Which reminds me, I think that can also cause problems. Let's say makalusot sila at the initial application, and then you apply to be permanent resident. That could cause problems. Parang may mga storya, ma'am, na halimbawa nag-apply as a student visa or ganyan, no? Sinabi na wala akong anak para mapadali, wala nang complication daw sa kanilang application to be a student, and then na-approve, etc., etc. Now come the time when you are applying, let's say for a permanent resident, for permanent residency, and then may sasama mo na yung anak mo, that could be misrepresentation and you could be refused because of that. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, that's correct. No, and wala tayong maitatago, especially marami nga, di ba sabi, kung wala magsumbong, hindi malalaman ng IRCC. No, but of course, it's always possible na may magsumbong. And it's a misrepresentation. If you have a child and you don't declare that on your application, no, that's a big misrepresentation, and that can lead to 5 years ban. So sabi mo nga na PR na, no, hindi na-declare na may anak. So kapag nalaman, even if you're PR or actually even if you're Canadian citizen na, and IRCC found out na may misdeclaration, or the big example is hindi mo dineclare na may anak ka, that can strip away yung PR status mo and even your citizenship status.
Oh, wow, talaga?
Yes, it is.
Oh, no. Tignan nyo, kaya dapat from the very first application ninyo, malinis na po talaga yan. As to not affect your future applications with IRCC. Meron po ba na kayong natulungan, ma'am, na ganyan? Kumbaga, or rather meron po ba kayong client na nakakuha ng PFL, citing na bakit sabi sa social media mo ganito, hindi ito yung sinabi mo sa amin sa application mo? Is it cited specifically by our IRCC if they flag something through your social media?
It's not in my own practice, no, but my colleagues. So the officer specifically mentioned yung doubt niya, no, yung red flag na okay, you're saying that you're working as a transport manager. So yung specific yun ang ginamit ko example. Yeah, transport manager. The guy is not a Filipino, no. So yun, transport manager and then supervisor, and then ni-refuse ang application. So that's a true story. Yeah. And then, but that leads to 5 years ban dun sa applicant, and he cannot apply unless matapos na yung ban of 5 years.
Grabe. Na-ban pala yun, totoong story pala yun.
That's
no. So in that case, ma'am, serious offense siya in a way. It's not something that you can, through the PFL, pag sasagutin mo na, I know, sorry, yes, it's lang pala, I miswrote my position o this is really like this? Kumbaga huli ng paliwanag in that case, hindi na tinanggap.
No, no. There are some officers na hindi ka naman bibigyan ng PFL nor oo. So straight away i-refuse ang application mo. So there is one thing called as pag sponsorship refusal or PR refusal, for example, you can go to the court, to the federal court, para i-appeal yung refusal mo. But of course, you need to be ready to have a strong defense. No?
Ayun. Pag-refuse, sa korte ka na magpapaliwanag niyan.
Exactly.
Kung gusto mo i-appeal yung iyong refusal. I see. Okay. Oh, we're keeping this episode short, ha? Did I miss anything, ma'am? Baka may gusto pa po kayong i-share with regards to this topic? Ano ba? Is there a specific application na mas dapat pagkaingatan ang kanilang social media, ang ina-upload nila sa kanilang social media? Work permit ba? Madalas sinecheck? Kapag student visa, family sponsorship, or is it all the same for whatever for all categories?
Yeah, that applies to all application. No, I always say be transparent. No, be truthful sa application. On the other hand, the IRPR or yung tinatawag natin na immigration regulations, they don't specifically mention naman that officers can check social media accounts of applicants. So, however, IRCC has stated then that they use publicly available information. Yeah. So that includes yung social media. So that is to verify, matulungan sila to verify the details provided dun sa application. So this practice is, of course, part of their extensive efforts to ensure the accuracy and yung authenticity ng information na sinasabit ng mga aplikante. I always say, I created a short video for that, but I'm not as good as you, Miss Ina, in creating video. I specifically mentioned, for example, nag-apply ka sa Canada as a student. No, whatever you declare, example, as your work experience at the time you enter as a student, you cannot change that anymore. What I mean to say is, if you change that, then be ready na ma-question ka ng officer. There are lots of letters na yung mga information na nare-refuse or yung PFL na papadalahan ng PFL for that reason. Why you're claiming na meron na experience na ganito, but at the time na pumasok ka ng Canada as a student, wala ka namang ganitong work experience.
Guys, ingat kayo. At ang sasabihin ko lang, sa panahon ngayon, kung kailan sinasabi na very strict ang IRCC, those little mistakes that you think, they could have big repercussions in your application. So kailangan talaga, as much as possible, honest and accurate ang iyong nilalagay dyan. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, Miss G, for sharing this with us. Maraming salamat. Miss G's contact information is available at the description box. At flash ko rin yan dyan sa baba if you do wanna get in touch with her. So, thank you so much, Miss G. Sa uulitin, ako, inaabangan na si Miss G ang aking go-to sa caregiver pathway na alam niya naman mag-open na very soon. Ako, more than a month to go, no? Mag-open na yan. So, we'll see. The moment na maglabas na po ng clearer guidelines sa caregiver pathway, abangan ninyo, we will have another episode with Miss G. Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, Yeah, we'll see you soon again. I will end this episode here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Thanks.